So, kids getting a driver's license, huh? Yeah, clear the roads! Seriously though, it's scary stuff. You're a new driver hurtling down the freeway, to say nothing of the insurance hike. Ooh boy. But really, look at the statistics. Drivers between the ages of 15 and 19 are much more likely to experience a collision. You don't want that. I don't want that. Heck, the government doesn't want that. And that's why states nationwide have adopted graduated driver licensing regulations. I know, it sounds complicated, but don't worry. I'm here to help. Welcome to Graduated Driver Licensing Made Simple. Now, each state has its own set of specific rules and regulations, but today, we're taking a look at South Carolina. Meet Daniel and his mom, Kay. They're about to start on the great adventure of the GDL. Daniel turned 15 yesterday. In South Carolina, this means he's just old enough to apply for his learner permit. Fortunately, he and his mom have spent time together studying this year's South Carolina Driver Handbook, so he's familiar with South Carolina's rules of the road. All they have to do now is head down to the local DMV, where they'll both sign off on his permit paperwork, and he'll take the written driver's exam. After passing the written test, Daniel is a proud learner permit recipient. Now, the fun part. Daniel needs to clock 40 hours of supervised driving time, at least 10 of which must be at night, with a parent or guardian. The supervised driving period is really important because it gives experienced drivers a chance to make sure that their protege is learning excellent safety practices behind the wheel. Now that he's got his permit, Daniel needs to spend 6 months working on his driving abilities under his mom's watchful eye before moving on to the next phase. Amanda and her uncle Jason. Amanda just spent the last 6 months with her permit, learning Jason's best tips and tricks for how to pull off the perfect parallel parking job, among other vital rules of the road. She's completed her 40 hours of practice and has finished driver education training. She's now ready to embark on that rite of passage, the road test. She and Jason head to the DMV, where Amanda will show off her shiny new driving skills. With a passing score here, she'll enter the intermediate stage of the GDL. Now she can finally strike out on her own in that brand new Mercedes or whatever. She may be allowed to drive solo now, but there are still safety restrictions on her intermediate license. Until she's spent a year with an intermediate license or until she's turned 17, she can only drive by herself between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. daylight savings time. She can also drive until midnight if accompanied by a driver 21 or older. In addition, driving is okay between midnight and 6 a.m. if accompanied by a parent or legal guardian. These restrictions are in place to minimize risk and distractions and maximize the experience the new driver gets. Amanda knows it's important to stay alert and aware while she's driving because the law has specific provisions for intermediate drivers. With a conditional driver's license, tickets or at-fault collisions can result in the conditional license period being extended. After 1 year of safe driving with an intermediate license, the state's safety restrictions will be lifted. Congratulations! At this point, Amanda is a fully licensed, unrestricted, ready-to-go driving machine. Hopefully, this handy guide has helped you make sense of the ins and outs of graduated driver licensing. For more information and specific rules for your own state, check out impactteendrivers.org. Happy driving!